Welcome back. Today we are going to discuss a PSAT math question where you can use a calculator. The link to this question has been given in the description of the video. The question is, an artist is creating a sculpture using bendable metal rods of equal length. One rod is formed into the shape of a square and another rod into the shape of an equilateral triangle. If each side of the triangle is 2 inches longer than each side of the square, how long in inches is each rod? 4 answer choices are given here. I will suggest you to pause the video and try to solve the problem by yourself. Hope by now you already have solved this. Let us just now do it together. So we have two rods. This is one metal rod and this is one metal rod, and they are of equal length. They are of equal length and they can be bent into shapes. One of the rod has been bent into the shape of a square, the blue one, the another into the shape of an equilateral triangle, the green one. Now what we mean by square and what we mean by equilateral triangle, you must be knowing this. Let me just remind you that in a square, the opposite sides are parallel to each other. All the sides are congruent. That means they are of equal length. And all the angles, that means each of this angle is a 90 degree. So that is the definition of the square. Now what about the triangles, equilateral triangle? In equilateral triangle, all the side lengths are equal or congruent. So they are all of equal length. And they are equiangular as well. Why? Because the sides are equal. So the sum of the three angles in a triangle is 180 degree. So each of them will be 60 degree, 60 degree, 60 degree and 60 degree. Now if I bend a rod into any shape, how I can match the length? So it must be, if I add all these lengths, it should be equal to the length of this rod. Here as well, if I add up all the side lengths, that should be equal to the entire length of this rod. Now what do we call when we add up the side lengths? We call it in geometry as perimeter. So this is the perimeter of the square and this is the perimeter that we are going to find out right now of the triangle. So this perimeter should be equal to the length of the rod here and here. Now what information do we have? We have that if each side of the triangle is 2 inches longer than each side of the square. So that information we have. So we do not know how long is the square or how long is the triangle, but we know that each side of the triangle is 2 inches longer than each side of the square. Now if we consider that each side of the square is of s inches, for example, they are equal, so I can write s in each case here, and here for triangle each side will be s plus 2 because they are 2 inches longer and they are congruent, so all the sides will be s plus 2 and s plus 2 here. So now I can find the perimeter. So I just need to add them up. So I will have to add s plus s plus s plus s, which I can write as 4 times s. So that is the perimeter of the square. And what is the perimeter of the triangle? Let me just choose green. So that will be 3 times s plus 2. So we are adding s plus 2 plus s plus 2 plus s plus 2. And this perimeter should be equal. Why? Because the perimeter of each correspond to the length of the rod and the length of the rod is equal. So the perimeter must be equal as well. So we can just write an equal sign here. And let us just solve this. So 4s equals, if we expand, so first I am multiplying 3 times s, that is 3s, and then I am multiplying 3 times 2, so that is 3 plus 3 times 2 is 6. So now if I subtract 3s from both sides, what do I get? I get 4s minus 3s is s. Here it cancels out and we have 6. So s equals 6 inches. So we can confidently write that each side of this square is 6 inches. And what is the each side of the triangle? that is s plus 2 or 6 plus 2. So we can write it as 8 inches. Each side of the triangle is 8 inches. In order to find the length of each rod, that is the question, the length of each rod which are equal, we will have to just find the perimeter of the shapes. So what is the perimeter of the square? We know that it is 4 times s, so we can write it is 4 multiplied by 6 because s is 6 inches. So the perimeter is 24 inches. And what about here in the equilateral triangle? So the perimeter is 3 times s plus 2. We already have found that s plus 2 is 8. So we can write perimeter equals 3 multiplied by 8, which is again 24 inches. They have to be equal because they correspond to the length of each rod, and the length of the rods are equal. So we have found the length of each rod, which is 24 inches. Let us just find the right answer. A is 16, which is not. B is 18, which is not. C is 24. That whatever we have found. The perimeter of the square is 24 and the perimeter of the triangle is also 24, and the perimeter corresponds to the length of each rod, and they are equal in size. So we can say that C is the correct answer. Thank you all for watching my video. Please hit the like button if you like my video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sarkar Research and Education. Here I post videos on test prep math question from PSAT, SAT and ACT math. I post epi chemistry and epi biology question as well as dashboard analysis. See you all in my next video then. Nandi. Happy learning.